name is Jason Portico. I'm from Hatfield, Maryland, aka J Flow 301 MD. Grind hard, dream big. How do you grind big? You dream. Man, I ain't gonna lie. 2020, July 5th, 2020, when I started doing motivational videos, I realized that my voice really mattered. And from there, November 6th, 2020, started the podcast. And I grew up in Hyattsville, Maryland. Like I said, it was a place where everybody kind of knew everybody. Before the mall at Prince George's, it was PG Mall. And at PG Mall, stuff like that, if you was around the neighborhood and stuff, people would always play basketball, do different things like that, interact. Book smart and street smart. So I kind of was also both, knowing the books, knowing the streets, and knowing how to maneuver. And I just felt like the things around me shaped me and motivated me to want to do better. I wouldn't sit there and say that, the upbringing was rough. I'm grateful for my mother and my father. And they allowed me to be better and be wise and be stronger. And they installed that hard work, dedication, and discipline and education. There's challenges facing our community right now. Lack of resources, lack of mentorship, guidance, safe spaces for our young people, and just opportunities to be better. A lot of our young people, they're eager to learn. We have to meet them where they are, take them where they deserve, speak their language, let them know that, we care, let them know that they're also seen and heard, and, we can provide and be a better outlet for them, because that's what they're really looking for, outlets. And also knowing how powerful their voice is, knowing how powerful that they are dope, that they're a vibe, that they're amazing. They have to affirm themselves and seek positive instead of negative thing. Also, the social media usage, rather it being positive or negative, they see more negative. So if you see more negative, you're bound to do negative. But if you see more positive, you're encouraged to do something positive. I think that the activism is a pro and a con. It's interesting because when it came to things like Black Lives Matter, and it came to social movements, I felt like social media brought a lot of awareness to it, which was great. And I feel like it encouraged our young people. It sparked the brains of young people from millennials to Gen Z to Generation Alpha now. In a sense where people are aware of what's going on. We just got to keep. What people don't really see is the long nights, the early mornings, the grind. You can't grind hard if you don't dream big. So like, they teach it. What's the planning, the executing. I'm grateful to have mentors like Mr. Billy Marshall to show me the ropes with community work, and of course how to speak and be a better proficient speaker. Mr. Jeffrey Young, who took me under the wing back in 2022. So I'm grateful for those two individuals because they really helped me in the space to get better. If I wanted to organize events, I had to see look. So from feeding the homeless with Miss Kimberly Marshall and Dare to Be Different, to taking kids to Dave & Buster's, to doing book bag drives and youth summits and programming. I had to put myself in those environments to do so. And at first you may just have to do it by yourself with no funding or no donations. But a lot of people will ask you what, a lot of people will ask you where, a lot of people will ask you when. But knowing your why and why you do it is so important. It's vital. And I just held on to my why and kept showing up day in and day out. And now consistently to have an event where we're able to take kids to Dave & Buster's yearly, coming up 6 years now. And also back to school drive coming up 6 years now. I'm just blessed and grateful for places like Leonard and Library to open up their doors to allow me to do these things. And then of course the Capitol Heights location, Dave & Buster's, that location.